It's the Andy and Dave Daily right here in the Muskegon channel. I'm Andy O'Reilly. Dave Cackley's over there. It is, what is it, Thursday?
Yeah, finally.
2-game winning streak. Mm-hmm.
Oh, whatever.
That's right,
what was the
man.
final score of that game? I didn't even bother to check.
I don't know, but it was good. It was a win.
Tigers beat the Reds. Way to go.
It was a W, is what it was. That's Andy O on his way to $20 right there.
Right, yeah. You 14 games under 500?
Doesn't
Not
matter.
happening.
It's on its way. It's a-coming.
There's cockeyed optimism, and then there's just sheer lunacy when it comes to...
Sing along with me. I hear the train a-coming. It's coming round the bend.
Don't ruin Johnny Cash by trying to connect it somehow to a terrible Detroit Tiger season.
Yeah, my friend. And I want one of those gift 20s. I don't want one of those ones that are crumpled up in your pocket for a month.
Yeah, it's not happening.
I want one from the bank that looks nice.
No chance.
Colorful. One with a new stripe down it and everything.
I don't need. Does 2 games even qualify as a streak? Are we?
Yeah.
I mean, or is it a trend? 2's a trend,
streak.
3's a streak.
That's a hot streak.
All right. Yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah. Keep putting your money down on that. See how much you win.
That's right.
Good Lord.
Buy me some campaign billboards with your money.
Yeah, there you go. Here, this will go towards the Andy O slush fund.
That's right. You roll some news there, homie.
Let's do it. Pope Francis has changed the catechism of the Catholic Church regarding the death penalty. Yeah, the Pope has taken a definitive stance against the punishment, and the Vatican announced it would continue to work to abolish the death penalty worldwide. Previous church teaching left room for capital punishment if it was seen as the only recourse to protect society. See, I didn't even know this.
No, I didn't
always
either.
thought the Catholic Church was against the death penalty. So, and I've never been, like I said, when it comes to a doctrine, I'm not a fan of changing stuff up that's been in place for thousands of years, typically, because that's not. You don't change it based on the whims of society. But as far as capital punishment goes, to me, that's always been a no-brainer from a religious perspective. I'm not talking about from a legislative, but simply from a religious perspective. Whether I switched, I did a complete 180 and against the death penalty. I made that decision about probably 6 months ago. But unless you can come up with the perfect judicial system, I mean, we got the closest thing you have to perfect here in the United States, and it's not close to perfect. So when you can't definitively make that ultimate judgment, you should probably do away with the death penalty. Probably.
But then you get back to the doctrine of the church and everything like that. What about women priests? What about priests being married?
Nope.
Why not?
Because
it's not a whim of society. That's a reality.
You don't change it based. I think I never had a problem with like in other denominations, ministers can marry. I don't know why the Catholic Church. I guess it's the ultimate sacrifice as a man. I'm committing myself to doing the Lord's work. Therefore, I cannot have a family and kids. I get that, and I'm fine with that. I think that's perfectly okay. And
I mean.
It's a religion.
It's just an unnecessary sacrifice, I think.
No,
I think you can commit yourself to doing the Lord's work and all that other stuff and still be married and be happy as a family man and everything else. Yeah.
Well, obviously, other denominations allow for that. The Catholic Church is just a little bit different, and I don't see any reason. I just don't see any reason to change that based on now the way society functions now, we need to change with the times. No, you don't necessarily have to. I don't.
How about
I don't
this? The Pope has changed his stance on the thought of extraterrestrial life. Is that changing with society's views, or is that
not at all? That's evidence. You're brought evidence. That's different. You bring me evidence to something that may or may not exist is one thing. Changing a doctrine based on what society views as acceptable, unacceptable, whatever. That's not good enough. That's not good enough for me.
All right.
It's I can separate the two. Those are two completely separate issues. Completely separate.
All right.
What else is going on? Well, a vast majority of Americans claim to support First Amendment rights. Most don't even know what those rights are. According to a new study by the Freedom Forum Institute, 56% knew that the First Amendment guaranteed freedom of speech.
Right.
Only 56. So 44% didn't know. Only 15% knew it guaranteed freedom of religion. 13% were aware of freedom of the press. 12% noted the right to assembly, and just 2%, and I got to admit, I completely forgot about this last one. I knew the other 4 cited the right to petition.
Wow.
So, and then 9% were dumb enough to think it was the right to bear arms, which is, And 51, here's another side note to this study, 51% believe that public universities should be able to retract invitations to speakers if their remarks would provoke a large-scale protest from students. Which is, we got to protect the kids from hearing something they might disagree with. Yeah, that's smart.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a break. Come on. You got it. The more viewpoints you have, the better. Argument, discussion, dissension, that's all part of it. You don't. Let's stop this disinviting speakers that you don't happen to agree with. I think that's dumb, and it's dumbing down colleges, which are already dumbed down. So, come on.
I don't know,
Go
man.
ahead, Ed.
I mean,
Go ahead. What's your retort?
There's a time and a place for everything, And if you're going to have some white supremacist making some big speech about how to hate Jews and hate blacks and hate this and hate that and hate everything, find someplace else to do it. You don't need a college campus for that.
Well, here's the problem. It's what's viewed as white supremacy and racism and hate speech. Everything, and it's become anything you disagree with is hate speech. I disagree with that take. That's hate. You have this view on welfare. You're racist. You have this view on the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. That's bigoted. That's hate. No, you got to allow for. I'm not talking about a guy who's an actual white supremacist, like what's his face who visited Michigan State last March. That's completely different. And especially when it comes to
but wait a minute. You just said you need to allow for freedom of speech. So why is it different with him?
I'm an absolute. I said I understand. I can understand that because that is hate speech. But yeah, I would still allow that.
Yeah.
But I understand that viewpoint. Look, this guy's spewing white supremacy, which is dangerous. Yes, I do think that is dangerous. But I do think also you should hear him. He should be allowed to be heard. While I vehemently disagree with it, I don't like. The problem is everybody gets lumped in with the Richard Spencers. You start lumping in everybody you disagree with a guy like Richard Spencer and making a moral equivalency with other people whose views you think are similar when they're the complete opposite. And I just hate that. And that's what universities and university students are becoming. I disagree with that. That hurts my feelings. That's hate speech. And it's garbage.
Okay.
And it's stupid, and it's making you dumber. All right. What else is going on? This is really, really cool. Building is underway finally at a set of hotels near the Lakes Mall in Fruitport. The Holiday Inn Express and Town Place Suites by Marriott, currently under construction. Both hotels scheduled to open sometime in the fall of 2019. Needed more quality hotels in the Muskegon area. I think that's a good thing. I like the Holiday Inn. In the harbor there, that's always I've visited there many times.
Yes, you have.
Good location.
When you don't get lost on Western Avenue because you're drunk.
Lost on Western Avenue because I've had a few too many rum and cokes. Hey, who hasn't that happened to? Who hasn't stumbled aimlessly? You're coming from Racquets. Which way do I go?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
It's a block. A block to the Holiday Inn. Actually, it's not even a block to the Holiday Inn from Racquets.
Okay, in fairness to me, I think there was a drink special going on, and I didn't have to drive anywhere, and I thought, I'm walking. I mean, technically, this is probably.
Do I look to the right or the left? Oh, to the left of me there. Oh, look at that! It's the Holiday Inn, but I think I'm going to go right and get lost.
In fairness, my vision was somewhat compromised.
Okay.
So there you go. Sports, the Tigers won. Andy's excited. That's 2 in a row. NFL season kicks off the Hall of Fame game tonight in Canton, Ohio. Of course,
Can't wait.
Preseason. It's fake football, but it's close enough to the real thing. Anyway, that's sports.
Have yourself a great Thursday.